you have a name? No name. Is it ransom or money?
What happens when one of the wealthiest beer tycoons in the world becomes the target of a major crime? This isn't just your typical kidnapping. It's the jaw-dropping abduction that shook Europe with a mind-blowing ransom and a non-stop global search. Back in the spring of 1983, Freddy Heineken, the head of the famous Heineken Brewing Company, was snatched right off the busy streets of Amsterdam in broad daylight. Freddy wasn't just any businessman. He was a cherished figure in Dutch culture and the face of one of the most well-known beer brands in the world, known for quality and tradition. The kidnappers, led by Cor van Hout, were a gang of Dutch criminals who demanded a jaw-dropping ransom of 35 million Dutch guilders, which was about $16 million back then. This crazy amount made it one of the most expensive kidnappings ever, showing just how bold and calculated the crime was. The kidnappers had done their homework, watching Freddy's routines to find the perfect strike moment. They thought they had a solid escape plan that would give them a big head start. But as the case unfolded, it turned into an intense story of police work and determination. The ways the authorities tracked down the kidnappers and the strategies they used during the manhunt were truly impressive. But how did it all go down? Who were the masterminds behind this audacious crime? And how did Freddy Heineken's story unfold? Answers reveal a gripping story filled with tension, high stakes, and the tireless pursuit of justice. Chapter 1. Everything you need to know about Freddy Heineken. Before we get into the crime, let's take a second to talk about who Freddy Heineken was and why his kidnapping made such big waves around the globe. Alfred Freddy Heineken wasn't just the heir to a brewing empire. He was the guy who took Heineken from a local beer maker to one of the most famous brands in the world. Born in Amsterdam in 1923, Freddy was the grandson of Gerard Adrian Heineken, who founded the brewery back in 1864. This family background set the stage for an incredible journey in brewing and marketing. Freddy kicked off his career at Heineken in 1941 as an intern during World War II. His natural business sense and keen instincts quickly made him stand out. By the 1950s, he was the CEO, ready to shake things up. He rolled out innovative marketing techniques that changed the game. One of his biggest wins was introducing the distinctive green bottle and the eye-catching Red Star logo, both of which became symbols of quality and are still recognized around the world today. Thanks to Freddy's leadership, Heineken expanded its global reach, spreading its brand to over 170 countries. But it wasn't just about ramping up sales. He wanted to elevate Heineken's image, making it a symbol of sophistication, quality, and a premium drinking experience. He transformed Heineken into more than just a drink. It became a cultural icon, synonymous with good times and celebrations worldwide. Freddy was also known for his larger-than-life personality. He rubbed elbows with celebrities, hit up high-profile events, and lived a flashy lifestyle that drew public attention. His charm won many over, but it also made him a target for criminals, leading to a shocking kidnapping incident in 1983. Freddy's abduction sent waves through the country. He was more than just a businessman. He represented Dutch innovation and success. His kidnapping felt like a hit to national pride, highlighting the risks that come with fame and fortune. And it changed how high-profile individuals were perceived in terms of safety in the Netherlands. Today, Freddy Heineken's legacy lives on, as he remains a key figure in brewing history, showcasing the blend of smart business moves, cultural impact, and the ups and downs of fame. Chapter 2. The shocking crime that shook Amsterdam. Freddy Heineken, one of the biggest names in Dutch business, was kidnapped in a plot that brought together two childhood buddies, Cor van Hout and Willem Hollander, who'd ended up living a life of crime. After months of careful planning, they got 3 accomplices on board to pull off their bold plan. They rented a warehouse in a quiet part of Amsterdam and soundproofed it to make it a secure hideout for their captives. On November 9th, 1983, everything kicked off. Freddy and his driver, Abdotterer, were ambushed right outside Heineken's main office in a busy area. Armed with guns, the kidnappers overwhelmed them and shoved them into a waiting van, leaving onlookers stunned. Once they were in the van, they sped off to their secret location, marking the start of a tough 21-day ordeal for both men. Inside the warehouse, things were rough. Freddy and Ab were kept in cramped, soundproof cells, shackled in a degrading way. The kidnappers sent ransom notes to Heineken's family through anonymous letters and tense phone calls, clearly showing their urgent need for cash, but also that they were playing the long game. They realized that keeping their victims alive was key to making their demands work. Freddy later described his time in captivity as incredibly traumatic, saying he felt like he was treated like a dog. The psychological impact was huge, and even though the kidnappers were harsh, they ensured their victims stayed alive, knowing that their survival was vital for the success of their demands. Meanwhile, the police were under serious pressure. This kind of high-profile kidnapping was a first for the Netherlands, and investigators knew they had to act fast. With no solid leads or immediate evidence, the police worked around the clock, racing against time to get Heineken and Dotterer back safely. The whole situation had the nation on edge, highlighting the rising issue of organized crime in the area. Chapter 3. Tracking down the Masterminds. The Dutch authorities, led by a specialized task force, put in a ton of hours trying to untangle a complicated case. They kept up the act of negotiating for ransom while secretly zeroing in on the crafty kidnappers. After weeks of digging, they finally got a big break. The police traced clues about the ransom drop-off to a plain industrial warehouse on the city's edge. On a cold day, November 30th, 1983, they launched a dramatic raid, successfully rescuing Freddy Heineken and Ab Dotterer, who were shaken but unharmed after their tough experience. Unfortunately for the authorities, the criminals had already slipped away, anticipating the police's next move and vanishing into Europe. This kicked off a lengthy and wide-ranging manhunt that covered several months and stretched across multiple countries. Eventually, in 1984, the investigation led to a charming town in France, where notorious kidnappers Cor van Hout and Willem Holleder were caught in a quick operation that featured collaboration between Dutch, French, and other international law enforcement agencies. They were extradited back to the Netherlands to face trial with their accomplices, finally getting justice for their terrible crimes. Chapter 4. The Trial and its Aftermath. The trial of Cor van Hout and Willem Holleder turned into a huge media circus, grabbing everyone's attention and stirring up some serious conversations all over the Netherlands. Back in 1987, both guys were found guilty and got slapped with 11-year prison sentences for their part in the high-profile kidnapping of beer tycoon Freddy Heineken. They weren't alone. A bunch of other accomplices faced different sentences depending on how involved they were in the crime. But things got even darker after the courtroom drama. Willem Holleder, who was initially seen as a major player in this infamous kidnapping, would go on to become one of the most notorious gangsters in Dutch history. After he got out of prison, he got mixed up in all sorts of shady dealings, linking his name to violence, extortion, and organized crime. His knack for staying one step ahead of the law raised some unsettling questions about how well the justice system really works and whether it can truly reform anyone. On the flip side, Cor van Hout's story ended tragically. In 2003, he was assassinated, a grim reminder of the brutal gang rivalries that had taken over in the wake of the kidnapping. His death highlighted just how dangerous a life of crime can be, often leading to betrayal and deadly consequences. As for Freddy Heineken, he came out of the kidnapping physically unharmed, but the experience left some deep emotional scars. He completely changed his lifestyle afterward, beefing up his security and becoming more reclusive, stepping away from the spotlight that once celebrated him. He passed away in 2002, and his legacy is forever linked to this infamous event, which not only made headlines but also prompted society to think deeper about crime, punishment, and the shady underworld. This whole situation leaves us with some tough questions. Was the punishment the gang members got really enough for what they did? And how do we deal with people like Holleder, who keep being a danger even after serving their time? These lingering questions bring to light the complicated relationship between crime and its aftermath in our society. If you found this story engaging and want to explore more real-life tales of crime, power, and justice, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends who might be intrigued by this incredible case. How do you believe such crimes can be avoided in the future? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Stay tuned for more captivating content, and as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.